Welcome to another episode of the Back Catalogue podcast. This is the podcast where we, and by we I mean me, Apple, and my co-host / co-founder Vincent, we dive into Disney Plus streaming service and we tell you, the listener and the viewer, what is worth it and what is not. And today we've got an emergency pod. Alarms are blaring. This is an emergency. We're here to review 2021's very own Black Widow, the latest of the Avengers movies to come out.
Correct.
Now, you could either watch this at the cinemas. We chose to watch this via Premier Access on Disney Plus.
Don't cost me $34.99.
Stream now for $34.99 with Disney Plus subscription. And then it goes to all Disney Plus subscribers the 6th of October 2021. Now, we're going to tell you whether or not we should have waited till 6th of October 2021.
I could have waited till 6th of October 2041, you know?
So I'm just going to give you a bit of a synopsis, then we'll get into it. We'll do some questions and whatnot. Okay?
Questions, and then we'll do some answers.
Black Widow.
All right, synopsis. Black Widow. Right, Black Widow's in this movie. What did you expect? She's titular.
There's too much here. I don't want to read it all. Look how much is on this screen.
Oh,
That's the biggest synopsis that has been. I'm just going to read the first couple bits of it, all right? In Marvel Studios' action-packed spy thriller Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow, confronts the darker parts of her ledger when a dangerous conspiracy with ties to her past arises. That's a good synopsis.
that's it. It's also, this is not a spy movie at all.
We'll get into it, but it starts off, you're assuming that it will start to go into espionage and spy thrillers.
There is no spying at all. You know, they're not doing any stakeouts.
It's true. There's no Twizzlers in the back of like a Ford Escort or something with the camera just looking.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Do you want some questions before we get into this?
I would love to have some questions.
All right, so the first question is, who is Natasha Romanoff in love with?
Oh, that's
the first thing.
I'm excited to hear about that because this is, not only is it like a character that's been...
Captain America.
Yeah, well, that's 100% incorrect.
When they were undercover, she told Steve to kiss her, but it didn't really mean anything, as they just see themselves as siblings.
There's contraindications, like contradictions within that answer and question.
In Age of Ultron, Steve also notices that Natasha and Bruce were in love with each other.
But why do they love each other?
Bro. Why is everything about Black Widow's love life? Is Natasha in love with Clint? Did Bucky and Natasha date?
That's a question that we got to know.
Well, did they date? In most of the comics that include both Black Widow and the Winter Soldier, they share a romantic bond.
Well, that's absolutely information that we need to know. Now, can I just give you the IMDb?
Who is Black Widow married to? Why did Captain America and Black Widow have a relationship? Why are they all relationship questions?
Bro, this, if you look up the Captain America movie, it would be showing different things, wouldn't it? This shows some deep-rooted stuff that we neither have the means nor brain power to.
Yeah, no, let's just move on from
get into. But can I give you the Rotten Tomatoes, the IMDb?
Oh, yeah.
7.4 out of 10 on the IMDb, 81% on the Rotten Tomatoes.
That's way too high.
But remember, this is only the second day that it's been out.
Yeah, one person has done that.
Things are usually a lot higher initially, and then they tend to go
one
down.
person gave it 100%, and then one gave it 60% because Captain America wasn't in there. Going on dates with Black Widow and then Bucky, you know?
And imagine if that's what the movie was. It was just,
Oi, Steve, I saw that you went back and you went back in time and, hung out with Peggy Carter. Do you reckon I can date Black Widow?
It's like that movie, This Means War, whatever it is, when it's like Chris Pine and the other man, and they're just dating individuals, and it's the same individual that they're dating, but they're also super spies,
Well, Chris Pine, former MP for Adelaide.
No, not Christopher. I'm talking Chris Pine.
Chris Pine. I don't know who Chris Pine is.
I'm a pine nut, bro. I know everything about Chris Pine.
Don't give me those stupid jokes. I'm not in the mood for that.
He had a budget of 200 mil as well, but obviously we won't know BOs until a bit later.
Yeah,
but
no body odors until a bit later.
Let's get into this. First of all, I want to say one thing. This is a spoilerific review. Because this, most of the people.
Did
most
you coin
of the
that
people,
term just then?
Spoilerific, yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the people, other than us, we had Premier Access.
We're not going to get any
$34.99.
copyrighted. Bro, why are you using spoilerific on your podcast? We're not going to get any of them?
Nah, I hope not. We haven't got the funds to, you spent all our funds on the $34.99.
I spent all my funds, that's for sure.
Hey, it's all right. I was going to say I'll split, but I will talk about that later. So we're just going to do a review of this. We're not really going to go into too much crazy.
I'm just going to start roasting it from the get-go right now.
All right, Vincent, should we get into this?
I'm going to say, bro, did they not have the CGI budget?
Yeah.
Okay, you know me.
I know you.
And I'm enthralled with the content. I'm enthralled with the action. I see bad CGI and it just goes over my head, like that joke in Guardians of the Galaxy to Dave Bautista.
Absolutely, yeah. Because he could catch it.
He could catch it.
Yeah.
This CGI was shocking. Bro, I thought we were playing Just Cause 3.
Which, hey, it's a great game.
It's a great game,
Yeah.
and you should play that.
Yeah.
If you want to do basically the things that they do in this game.
If you want to do Black Widow things, you can, there's a lot of things you can do on planes, and that's what happens in this.
Yeah, absolutely. This is, nah, bro. Then there's no spy. I thought it was going to be a, tactical kind of, spy espionage. I thought we were going to get, James Bond of the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
There was it was just explosions. The explosions looked terrible. What's with the running towards the camera and explosions in the background, looking like that scene from X-Men Origins Wolverine?
Well, I mean, there's been a song about it, the cool guys, they don't look at explosions.
That's right.
Yeah.
I guess maybe once that song came out, it was then not cool to have that not looking at explosions.
That's exactly
especially
right.
not.
You need to be like, I'm looking at it.
Especially not so blatant as staring directly at the camera, walking forward, explosion in the background. Yeah. And not even, it's an explosion off to the side. Literally the whole screen was fire. Bro, come on.
We said this a couple of times while watching it. Because we had Premier Access, we watched it together in a room. There was no other people, so we were able to, comment on particular things. And one of the things that we continued to comment on was that this was like Die Hard 5.
Yeah.
In which the amount of things that should have caused death didn't cause death.
I can give it a pass when Captain America, falls down 16 different platforms.
Yeah.
And he's still got all his teeth.
Yeah.
Because he's got to go on dates with Black Widow and or Peggy Carter. Who knows?
And or Sharon.
Or Sharon.
Because he's
doing the whole lineage.
Yeah. It gets murky. At some point, he gets murky, He gets Loki on us. We'll get into that next.
Yeah, that's right.
Tune in on Monday for Loki.
But man, that was another part.
Yeah.
But not even a scratch. She didn't even hurt herself. She got stabbed that many times.
I mean, she severed a nerve within her brain.
Yeah, and just did one of them, as if you're popping back a shoulder. Bro, that's not dislocating a bone in your nose. You've broken it. You've severed the nerve. You said that. You explicitly said that. You didn't say, I've got to smack my nose real hard so I don't smell you. That whole part was dumb as well.
All right, I know where you're at now. Where you're at now. But there's other things that I'd like to get into before we get into the final scenes, because I think the whole final sequence is a podcast in itself. Okay, so let's talk about some things. I want to just up top.
You take it because I'm getting too emotional here.
Okay, I want to up top.
I'm like one of those kids that starts running and their body goes further than their legs. I'm getting too ahead of myself. And you've got to stop me from stacking it.
Yeah, dude.
My parents aren't here.
You see that when you see a kid running, their head's too far forward. You're like, there's danger.
There's danger.
You're
just hoping they're on grass.
Yeah, and if they are, that's just it's a learning experience.
That's right.
We learned about that in Batman, that movie Batman. You fall, you get up and whatnot. Yeah. So let's do the sandwich. The sandwich, the criticism sandwich. It's the bun. There's some stuff you don't like in the middle, and then it's the other bun. All right, and the bun is goodness, okay? I didn't want to say what's in the middle because it's not appropriate. But I want to talk about some of the good things up top that I liked about this. First of all, I wanted to say that we've talked about this. I don't know if we've talked about this on this show. Not this episode, obviously, because I'm about to talk about it right now. But this show is that Hawkeye, one, he's one of our favourite Avengers. And two, I don't know if we've said this bit, but Black Widow is also one of my favourite Avengers because for similar reasons. It's just a person in amongst.
That's right. She's just a person that has knives and guns occasionally.
Yeah. And sticks that.
And she's got electric sticks. That's all she's got.
And she's just out there like,
That's wild.
Rocking it with the best of them, right? That's amazing.
That's right.
That's amazing. Now, because even though she is an Avenger and she's dealt with world-ending crises, at that point she hadn't dealt with Thanos, but she was leading up to it. Like she was strong enough to get up to that point, right? She's worked her way up. I feel that, and I mean, I guess I'm not giving any positive things to this movie right now. I've just realised this. But
this button, we're not going to do it's like one of them KFC ones where it's just meat.
It's a double down of criticism. So even though Black Widow is, someone that deals with something very regularly on a world basis, like, the universe is at stake with the stuff that she's involved with. This didn't need to be that. This, as Vincent said, if this was just a spy movie, this was just on the ground.
That's what I was expecting. I was expecting to be a chilled out, we're out here, we're doing spy things.
Yeah.
Daniel Craig's in the back. We're doing stakeouts in the Ford Escort.
Yeah, he's playing poker with someone, that man starts tearing up blood. I don't know. I haven't seen that movie, but I think I've seen it.
That's about it, yeah.
That's about it. And then a car crashes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, apparently it's a good movie.
It is a good movie.
Yeah, well, suits, cars, watches, what more do people want? But this is where I thought initially, when there was the scenes in which Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff, caught up with her sister, who is, let me tell you, fantastically played by her.
Dude, she was a great actress.
Dude, listen, Florence Pugh. That's her name. That's the actress' name.
She doesn't have a Russian accent. I'm assuming that's a.
I think she's British.
British, okay.
Yeah, she's British. Man, British people can do a lot of accents. The British people are like the GOAT tier of accents.
There you go.
Like not only their accents, but also the accents that they can do. Right? But anyway, she's in this movie Midsommar, which is absolutely wild, and she kills the role in that. I haven't seen Little Women, but apparently she's good in that too. So she's doing things. And then she comes into this movie and I'm like, this is a breath of fresh air. This is exactly what I needed. I want her a part of the Avengers now. I don't want them to be like, this is the new Black Widow, here she is. I want her to be her own thing. But I just want her in the mix now. And we'll get into what potentially could happen next. But when they first met up, Yelena and Black Widow, I was thinking, okay, they're in the streets of Budapest. This is where we're staying.
Sorry, Budapest.
Budapest, yeah.
Come on, bro.
I'm not saying this live on air. That's going to make me a man who sometimes has a lisp. That's going to make me have issues, okay? So when they were there, I thought that's where they were going to stay. And they were going to be doing things in that space. They were going to be doing the thing when your hand's up here, you got the knife in your hand. So instead of like trying to get your hand out of the space, you just drop the knife. Right, that's about 6-7 times in this movie.
Yeah, that was... Yeah.
You use it once, that's cool. You use it 7 times. It's like if you ate 7 pieces of Weet-Bix. The first 3 are amazing. You get to the 7th.
They're soggy, bro.
They're soggy.
You get to the 7th knife drop, it's soggy.
Yeah.
You pick it up and you're going, bro, it's all wet here. What's going on? You left it in the milk too long.
And we know from, coordinates and whatnot, you never eat them. Right? You never eat them.
From coordinates.
That's geography. But yeah, I thought that they were going to go with that direction. And, to have Taskmaster in it, that was pretty cool. I was thinking...
Taskmaster was severely underutilized.
Oh, man. The issue with Taskmaster was... So Taskmaster, for me, Taskmaster was first introduced to me through the Spider-Man PS4 game.
That's same here.
Right? And in the Spider-Man PS4 game, you're playing through the game and the Taskmaster adjusts to the way that you play.
You verse him... intermittently, and then he learns the moves that you used last time.
Because me, I'm just doing swing kicks.
That's right. And then he's doing swing kicks, and he's going, and he's blocking your swing kicks, and you're going, bro, I can't swing kick. What am I doing here?
All I know is swing kicks.
And then it's just Spider-Man running from Taskmaster, 10 meters behind through the streets of New York.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right.
You got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do. But the unfortunate thing with Taskmaster, and also the unfortunate thing of watching a trailer, is that everything that Taskmaster did in this movie was shown, like every cool thing, There's a bit where she, brings out the claws like Black Panther.
See, I didn't see the trailers.
See, that's my issue. There's a bit where she does some Captain America things.
Yeah, but that shouldn't be an issue. The trailer shouldn't show all the parts of one character in the movie.
That's exactly right.
But also, yeah, I like how in the Spider-Man games, the Taskmaster learns each time. This one, your Taskmaster's just in a room watching, Jackie Chan beat people up with furniture. And then she's going, yeah, bro, I can do it now.
Well, yeah, so the Taskmaster was watching, like, videos of the Avengers. Like, she was in there like Dennis Rodman when he would watch the teams and he'd be like, I know how to...
You just think of the potential. You could get her watching TikToks. She'd be viral in seconds.
She'll be like Charlie and the other famous TikTok.
Yeah, she'll be in that TikTok house.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah.
And there's just clocks everywhere.
It's ticking and talking.
Right.
It don't stop a rocking, in that TikTok house. But no, you're right. I feel that if Taskmaster already knows the moves, there's nothing exciting about bringing Taskmaster into the mix. And also, Taskmaster doesn't learn from the people that she fights.
Just learns from a TV.
She's just using the Avengers, strategies. She's not actually saying Black Widow does this, so I'm going to do that.
That's right. I'm surprised she didn't grab out, get like a hammer. Just she went to Bunnings, got a hammer, and go, bro, I'm Thor now. She had the shield from Captain America. She had the claws.
The bow and arrow.
The bow and arrow.
I mean, that was a silly one.
That was so dumb.
It's just like, hey, this is Hawkeye. We brought Hawkeye into
this. That's what they were trying to do.
So, yeah, no, but I don't think I can.
I don't think I can say anything good about this movie.
No, I don't want to understate how good I think Florence Pugh was in this movie, and I want more of Florence Pugh. And I know that we're going to get her because in the after credit scene we learn a bit more about that.
Yeah,
but I want to get her into the main story, not just the TV series, because we'll get into why I'm saying that. But should we talk about the rest of her family? Because
yeah, that's another thing. The whole family dynamic. I mean, it was, bro, I hate you because you did these terrible things to me. All right, okay, we're all right now then. It's okay, I can kind of, which, family dynamics are very difficult to navigate. But at the end of the day, this is a movie. You can't just flick a switch and...
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what they do.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
I think the bottom line, even though we're 17 minutes in, I'm telling you the bottom line of this movie.
We're still at the top couple of lines, We're still at the intro here.
We're still at the intro, but it was trying to be bigger than it should have been, because Black Widow isn't a god.
That's
she ain't got a shield and pristine teeth.
I think her teeth are pretty pristine.
No, her teeth are pretty pristine. Yeah, I just said that. Just
if you're in Hollywood, you can veneers.
Yeah, you can get veneers.
Or you're brought up with just, good hygiene.
Yeah. But no, I think that was the part that really, because once I realized it was just going to be explosions and you fighting, I thought this is not what
you came here for.
It's not what I came here for. And it also wasn't done well. It wasn't even done well.
No.
Why did Dreykov have to have a bloody spinning satellite in the sky?
Because he's a young Draco. He's soldier. He did it first, He did
it first.
That's a reference that not many people would get.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, that's all right. Soldier boy, tell him, that's who it is.
That's right. He told him, and then Draco did it.
But
that was, yeah.
This movie was like a bit of a roller coaster for me. I didn't like the start at all. So the start was giving the backstory as to sort of where Natasha was as a child and how they were involved with this Russian, the red, what is it, Red Room?
The Red Room, yeah.
In which they train up young girls to become
Black Widows,
right? And they give you a bit of backstory on why, Hopper from Stranger Things is her dad, why, I forgot her name now. Melina is also, the mother, the matriarch and the patriarch. They give you all of that. They give you the fact that they're in Cuba doing Russian things, right? But all of that scene, I don't know if it was meant to be exciting. This is them, getting away from Bob Ross. By Bob Ross, I mean like Lieutenant Ross, But I wasn't invested in it at all. Because even though I know who Black Widow is, I didn't know who those characters were.
Well, we knew because the subtitles gave them away.
I mean, the subtitles did give them away. Yes, that's right. But then when Black Widow, was older, she went back to Budapest. She found Yelena. I was like, okay, we're going up here. We're getting into espionage. We're getting into this sister dynamic here. They're going to find the other members of the family. It's going to be amazing. And then we find Hopper, right?
Alexei.
We find Alexei, Mr. Red Guardian, right? And then it goes downhill because for some reason they just make him like asking people if it's their time of the month.
Yeah, no, that was.
I want you to be a good character, not like, I mean, I know you've been in prison
Yeah,
for
but no, I don't think
years.
I don't think his character. I mean, that was pretty bad. But I think it was the thing that annoyed me was he was such a terrible character and obviously a terrible father. Wasn't really their real father. But all he wanted to know is, oh, bro, did Captain America talk about me?
But did they even fight?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure when he was fighting, he was in the ice.
Yeah.
Captain America.
Yeah.
But anyway, he was so, I just talking about me, like me, the Red Guardian. Let me put on my suit. And then Black Widow, and then he's going, oh, I'm sorry for what I did. There was no reason for him
To flick the switch.
to really flick the switch. I mean, yeah, they got captured, but
I also say, like, if you're talking about narcissism with me, don't try to like justify someone else's narcissism because I've got my own narcissism here. If I was a man that, had superpowers, I'd be like, hey, did you see that video of me? Like we do a podcast, and a YouTube like channel on the weekly basis, I'm telling people about this. I'm saying, did you see the Big Mac taste test? The Grand Mac taste test?
the Grand Mac?
Because it's going to come out probably tomorrow.
Tomorrow, that's right.
Yeah. But no, then it got into, they met the family, they caught up for like 5 minutes, and then they were back into just doing like big explosions inside a satellite.
Honestly, the last half an hour of the movie was just them exploding this big thing.
Yeah.
Dreykov saying, oh, I control all these Black Widows. The pheromones repulse you.
Okay, so let's I don't want to quickly go over that bit because I want to talk about that bit. So we'll say that they get into the satellite in which this Dreykov guy who was the big bad for Black Widow back when she was in Budapest. You know how she always talks about Budapest, right? She went there with Hawkeye. They were doing Budapestian things, right?
Yeah, they blew up the consulate there, or where Dreykov was, blew up his daughter, thought they blew up him. Turns out they didn't.
They didn't.
They blew up his daughter.
They blew up his daughter, but she seemed like pretty good, because she is the taskmaster in the end. She seemed all right. She seemed all right. But, they go to this place, they have this plan, and, they're doing some Mission Impossible action. Where
Actually, before you say that, one of the things I hated about this movie was they do the, Melina takes off the thing and it's actually Black Widow underneath. And then it flashes back to them coming up with the plan.
Explaining it, yeah.
I'm going, bro, we don't need to know this. We're aware there was obviously a plan that you guys are in cahoots. You take my clothes, you take my stormtrooper outfit, you take the outfit that I somehow had time to put on while we were having dinner, and we'll switch. And then, we'll do espionage things. But they had to explain it.
Yeah.
Oh, so you see, we're going to switch faces because then he thinks it's the lady that he knows, but it's not the lady, it's actually Black Widow. Bro, get the heck out of here.
And then, there's the bit where... So, anyway, after that, Black Widows, they're chatting. They're doing Black Widow things. When you've got Black Widow in a situation, she did it in the first Avengers. She's sitting there feeling like she's the helpless person, but really she's understanding the plan. That's a throwback. That's a good throwback because it's a character trait, right? Then there's this bit where Black Widow goes to punch this man, and he's like, oh no, shoot him first.
Yeah.
And he's like, see, you can't do anything to me. Grab your knife and try again. And then she tries to stab him and she can't do that. And then he says, it's because I have these pheromones that make you stop trying to cause me any form of bodily harm. Even punching me, even slapping me, you can't do it because of my pheromones.
Right. But that's what I'm thinking. Can she not step back? And why did she have to? I mean, then, Melina says you got to sever the nerve in your nose and then you won't be able to, the signals won't be going to your brain about the smell. Just step back a few times, I don't know how strong his aftershave is, but you go 10 meters back, you'll be all right,
Yeah, and also...
Or can't you just accidentally shoot him? Just start shooting around, one of them will hit him. There's got to be loopholes.
There's loopholes.
It can't just be like, so anytime, you know what it's like? It's like when you turn friendly fire off on Call of Duty, and so you're just shooting the dude, but nothing's going because, he's your teammate.
You know what I was thinking? She could do the Bart Simpson. If look, I'm just going to swing my arms. If you get in the way, that's your own fault. I'm just going to swing this knife. If your head gets in the way, that's your fault. So, hey, I didn't understand this. The pheromones aren't working.
But what if she closed her eyes? How does her brain know that she's shooting at him?
Because the pheromones, apparently. But also, that's another thing of, it goes back and says, oh, hey, also remember the pheromones, the nerve.
That's right.
Yeah. But you're right. You could just stand out of it. You could walk away and be like, you know what? You're not worth it. Walk out the room, just shoot mans in the head.
That's right.
Yeah, so...
Can we open a window? Bang. Problem solved.
Problem solved, man. Like, when the main plot device to stop your main character from being able to kill you, the main villain, to being able to kill that person that she's been wanting to kill this whole time, is pheromones. You need to take a step back and say, maybe we should do a rewrite here.
Pheromones shouldn't... I can't think of... This time, I've been thinking of a scenario where pheromones is a suitable just topic in a plot of a movie.
Well, except for Max Keeble's big move.
That's...
Pheromones. That's a key part of the movie.
That's a key part of the movie.
The smelly goat. Remember the smelly goat?
Bro, Max Keebles.
That's one of the goat tier movies.
We're going to get Max Keebles on the show at one point.
Dude, Max Keebles, if you're listening, and I know you are, come on the show.
Yeah, pheromones, bro. Can't get the heck out of here.
The issue with this movie is I feel like, unfortunately, a lot of it was probably affected by COVID.
That's why they had to do green screen strictly.
That's why I'm thinking there's a lot of green screen, there's a lot of issues with the CGI because when there's challenges with CGI, these are people who are doing these things that are overworked because they're doing like 6-7 projects at once.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying, but maybe the idea is to not do as much CGI. Yeah,
but what I was going to get into with that point was there's obviously restrictions and issues that COVID has put onto the world and put onto the movie making world. That
but if you're earning 7 figures, restrictions don't relate to you.
That's exactly right.
We let in the whole French rugby team here. But heads from, overseas can't come into, people who are Australian can't come into the country. But the French rugby team came here, Well,
it's because they know how to throw a ball.
That's exactly
Do the
right.
other people know how to throw a ball?
If you know how to do, sports, or you're earning 7 figures,
yeah.
Come on in, bro.
Come on in.
Scott Morrison's there with his tidy whities. He's going, bro, come in. He's got the things on the runway.
He's got a French flag. He's like waving at one hand. He's got them things on the other hand. They're like, Scott, I don't think you have the credentials to be here.
Scott, mate, I think your time is more useful somewhere else.
Yeah, just go on holiday, Scott. You need it.
Yeah, he's done too much, honestly.
He's done too much.
Anyway, we're not getting political.
No, we're not.
He should just resign, though. Anyway.
Hey, Scott, if you're listening, bro.
Just listen.
There's some things that need to change. Like, we can't get into it now, but if you want to come on this podcast, we'll talk about it. We will.
We'll discuss it over a movie of your choice.
And it'll be like us here. ScoMo will be there. Then off camera, there's going to be someone just like feeding us lines. We're like, Scott Morrison is the greatest that we've ever seen.
He's even better than John Howard.
Is that what that says?
Is that what that says?
There's like the cameras just stop into the back catalogue.
He would have found that prime minister that got lost in the sea. Okay?
In fact, he's found him. It's the prime minister that got lost in the sea. Welcome to the show. Bro, you're a fan? They have their podcast in Atlantis? Are you serious?
This is getting derailed
anyway,
quickly.
So...
we shouldn't have done this so quickly because I'm still shook from spending $34.99 on that movie. $34.99.
Yeah.
If I had 10 people spending $3.50 each, I still wouldn't say it's worth it. Come on, bro.
Can I just get into what my point was before, rugby teams and whatnot?
Rugby teams.
So, I understand that the screenplay writing, the script writing could have been affected by COVID as well. They could have just been like, we need to get this out. We need to get this done. But the story seemed like it was going somewhere good. And then it almost felt as if the last it felt like the last 3 quarters was just rushed.
Yeah.
And it was about how can we make these 4 people come together and then get them to that satellite and then explosions. How can we make that all happen? How can we make a main villain in this plot not be a main villain and just be,
Yeah.
put in a couple of scenes and not really show much of a menacing presence.
How did Tony Stark not find... He's got satellites everywhere. How did he not find this huge thing in the sky? Also, that was hilarious. Oh, he thought he would go above the radar because he's too high now. I just imagine Dreykov in a room with, a few heads and go, Dreykov, we've got to go under the radar because, we're picking up too much heat. What if we go above the radar?
And then someone in the room's like...
That doesn't actually work. Dead. That's it.
Yeah, so...
Above the radar it is.
I think that this movie was rushed. I feel that we had such a great character in Black Widow. We had such a great character in Yelena. Man, that's one of my favorite,
she was a good
MCU
character.
performances as well. How well done it was. Like, not only able to, hold a pretty good Russian accent for the entirety.
Well, I thought she was Russian.
And I know that Wanda, there's a lot of flack that she gets for her Sokovian accent, but that's different from Russian.
That's right, exactly.
That's different.
Exactly, it's different from Russian.
That could have been exactly what Sokovian's meant to sound like.
Absolutely.
But when you have those two great characters and actors as well, you got to give them something better than what transpired here.
Right. And I wanted to see a good Black Widow movie because her backstory is so in the dark.
Bro, it's under the radar.
It's under the radar.
Yeah.
And there's always hints to, we don't talk about Budapest or, something about Fight Club, not talking about Fight Club. But there's so much...
A reference to Fight Club specifically.
Insert reference. We'll put in some Fast and the Furious references because that's meta at the moment.
And they do say family a lot in this movie.
Actually, that's another thing. They say family that much. We thought Dom Toretto would be in the back just...
He'd just be nodding his head. Just
nodding head, sinking a few Coronas.
Just putting on chains on all of them.
But yeah, that was... Yeah.
So...
I wanted a good Black Widow movie that would be kind of... like what the character is. She's not a go in, smack everything with a hammer or a shield. She's a, talk her way out of situations, get information, espionage. But this ain't it, Chief.
And you could have had a character like Taskmaster and still made it a grounded thing. It didn't need to go into space. Or, almost
Why does
space.
everything have to go to space? This is in space. Fast and the Furious is in space.
It didn't have to go to those levels.
Next thing, Guardians of the Galaxy will be in space.
Like, for example, and I know that Winter Soldier is a movie that this has already been compared to. This movie's already been compared to the Winter Soldier because of the espionage, because of it's more grounded compared to the other ones, but it's not.
This is more grounded.
That's what I've been seeing. This closely.
They specifically went above the radar, so they weren't grounded.
They were off the ground. They were off the ground. So,
but grounded. The Winter Soldier wasn't about the whole secret, Red Room situation. Whatever they did, the bloody freight car, Kalishnikov, whatever they said.
Yeah.
It was about
Hydra.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on.
But it was it's a completely different movie.
I know it's a different movie, but that's what I'm saying. Like, when I've seen these things saying, it's more like Winter Soldier than it is like any other MCU movie, I'm thinking that at least the first part of, I know that Captain America Winter Soldier gets pretty crazy where there's just things falling from the sky, but at least the first part of it seemed like it was, it wasn't, as espionage as some other classic spy movies are, but it was leaning towards that while still maintaining its superhero-ness.
But also it's Captain America.
And that's what I'm saying. And the Winter Soldier,
That's right.
2 super soldiers.
Yeah.
And then we have 2 just regular people who have been trained like crazily.
Yeah. Trained to fall out of, assorted buildings and not come out with any scrapes.
And hit many...
They fell out the sky.
Yeah, man.
And yeah, they had a parachute, but they were falling fast and they just fall on the ground and they get up and start fighting. Mm-hmm. Get the heck out of here.
Look, this is a short one because, Vincent's mad. Vincent's mad. Like, I don't want to get him any madder at this point because you don't know what he could do behind the scenes.
That's right. I just want to talk about Loki.
And we just want to talk about Loki. So let's just finish off by saying the end of this movie, there's a after credit scene.
hold on, before the end of this movie,
You're going to do the whistle thing?
The
Let's
whistle.
talk about the whistle, okay.
was this? We must have missed something.
I don't think we missed
because there
anything.
was a whole whistle. You know, Yelena whistles and Natasha whistles, and it's bro, they both whistled. They did the whistle. Do you remember that from the part of the movie that didn't exist?
Yeah, I mean, they could have existed.
Do you reckon someone put that in and they're going, oh yeah, this is great because it's a callback to that part of the movie? And then one of the other executives goes, but what part of the movie? Oh shit, forgot to film that one. It was time. Nah, bro, just keep that. It'll be fine. They'll think it. Someone on the Marvel, YouTube, some YouTuber head would be like, bro, it's this. The bioluminescence of the fireflies. If you can hear them, if you can change the frequency of the fireflies to only show below 6,000 hertz,
You'll do that
they
whistle.
do that whistle.
Yeah. No, I think that...
And then Kevin Feige would be like, absolutely.
Because he's always wearing a hat.
He's always wearing a hat.
And like, shout out to, balding men that wear hats, because I'm going to be one of you soon. Because I'm balding. I ain't got the supply of hats that Kevin Feige does.
Yeah,
I haven't got that Kevin Feige money.
yeah, got that.
You gotta have hats that
because you can't just
keep
have one
changing.
hat.
No, because one, that means that people know he's hiding something.
Yeah,
But two, if you have multiple hats, and I'm talking not
then it's
two
a
or
fashion
three,
statement.
that's part of your outfit.
That's right.
Exactly. So I think the only reason that whistle was put in was so there would be that bit where Yelena goes to Black Widow's grave, does the whistle, and then you assume you might hear the whistle back in the after credit scene, and that will be how it ends.
So dumb.
But then it ends up being Elaine Bennis, from
hilarious.
from
Because I've been
Seinfeld
watching
fame.
Seinfeld, and she exactly the same as she was inside. She does a laugh, which is obviously just how she laughs. But I was going, bro, they're Seinfeld things.
Yeah, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I see her in a movie. I'm like, or in a TV show. I'm like, that's great. I'm glad you're doing things.
Yeah, she's got purple in her hair. That's crazy.
So the last time we saw her was at the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and she was teaming up with
Kyle Walker,
Johnny Walker.
Yeah.
Remember? So she was teaming up with him, but in this case, she says to Yelena, "Hey, I want you to go take down the man who killed your sister," who in this case, is Hawkeye.
And in that case, number one, where's she getting her information from?
Well, I mean, this is the thing.
Number two, there's technicalities here.
There is technicalities, but this is the thing. I want to talk about my experience here, right?
Sorry. Let me validate your experience.
Let me
Go
talk
on.
about my experience. So one time when my partner and I, we first started dating, we went to this secret beach, right? And to get to this secret beach, you had to sort of walk across cliff faces. And my partner was doing things like, oh, should we climb down this area to get to the secret beach? Or should we climb down that area? And I'm like, let's climb down, the areas that have been developed to go down to the secret beach. I'm not going around any other areas. And she's like, why? Like, let's have a bit of fun. Let's go down here. I'm like, listen, we've just started dating here. And even if we had been dating for a while, if you fell off this cliff at this secret beach in which there's no other people, I'm going to be blamed for it. Like, I'm going to be sad that you're dead, but also, who's the witness? No one.
Yeah.
I'm the only man's there. What am I going to say? The sea took her in. There was someone
The
in the
sea is a cruel mistress. Sorry, that won't hold up in court.
Like, what are they going to do? What's Hawkeye going to say in the court of law? Go talk to the red floating man. People are like, this guy's going crazy.
No, that's fair enough.
So that's what I thought of as soon as that scene came up. I was
Secret beach. You're going, bro, lucky we went down the right path. Far out.
because I would have had Yelena's after me. So that means in my mind that Yelena is going to appear in the Hawkeye TV show, and he's going to be the main bad or one of the bads in that show.
And she's going to have a satellite. And she's going to be in the radar.
Yeah, if you're in the radar, how's it meant to detect you?
There's going to be radars and there's just going to be beeps and she's going to be everywhere.
It's going to be like that man that was inside the whale. Whale didn't even know it. Did you hear about that story?
Dude, Whale didn't even know it.
Whale didn't even know it until the man started like throwing haymakers in the whale. Like, I'm sure this guy should have been dead.
It's with the tonsils, bro. Uzum with the
He's doing
tonsils.
those on with that bowl bag. And
Yeah, the whale's going, bro, there's something inside me. Something's going on here.
So anyway, that's where that's going to lead. I'm glad that we get to see more Florence Pugh in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Florence, hey, if you want to ever be on the show, when these borders open, I mean, if you can play football, you can come now.
You can throw a ball relatively well. I'll let you in. ScoMo will let you in.
You're here, Florence. You're here. But shout out you, and shout out to Scarlett Johansson for just like doing all these great things for so many years.
I just wish they gave her a better movie.
I mean, I wish they did, but shout out you for just,
She's always been one of the underrated characters in the Avengers.
Because she was never given much.
That's right. And they've given something to her, but
And that's why you go to Google Answers, you go to Google Questions, and you get relationship questions.
Get the heck out of here.
You got Black Widow, you're talking about relationships.
So much better than that.
You're not talking about how many people did she smack with those sticks in all the movies. I want someone there counting each individual that got smacked, How did she perfectly dye her hair, to that color and then...
In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, I mean, I'm sure there's ways to do it. We just haven't done it.
That's right. We're not proficient in hairdressing.
No. And I don't do hairdressing anymore. Anyway.
Look,
so tell them, Vincent.
We're on YouTube. We're on Apple Podcasts.
Tell them whether this movie is worth...
Bro, it's not worth it.
It's not even worth the $8.99 for Disney Plus admission.
Honestly, this is one of the movies where if it's on, Channel 7 and you got to watch it with 600 ads, so you end up watching it over 4 hours, you maybe put it on for a bit.
In the background.
Yeah.
Like you're doing things.
That's right. You're cleaning the house. You've just got you're not even in that room most of the time.
You got a jam with you. You got something like that. It's all good. It's all good. Anyway, Vincent, tell them where they can find us.
Hey, Patreon, we're going to be on After Dark. We might not do that today. It might be too
There's probably
late.
There's probably a lot that we've got to do other than After
Yeah,
Dark.
I think we might have to call it. But look, you're getting 2 podcasts this week.
You're getting 2 podcasts.
Which is kind of wild.
Yeah.
And also watch out for, Dom Toretto's favourite Big Mac meal.
That's one of our wildest videos
That's one of our wildest. Yeah, that was wild. Anyway, you can catch us Instagram, send us an email, whatever you want. It's all in the show notes. Like and subscribe. We're almost at 100 subscribers, which is wild.
Yeah.
I didn't say that in the YouTube video, but I'm saying that in this YouTube video.
And Yumbo got to 1K.
And Yumbo got to 1K. So, bro, I don't even know why we're still doing this.
Where is there to go from here?
That's right.
Farewell.